Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Um, Been a little bit since I made one, as I said it was going to be. Just life stuff's been busy. Been backlogging several things. We'll see how many I cast in the upcoming weeks before holiday season really takes over. But I got a good one here for you today. There are a couple people that have said I'll be casting their games probably. So those are coming people, but this one is the one I'm doing today against Gus 8833. I'll just be calling them Gus. And we just chose sides with the token for free people. So I have started with Power of Tom Bombadil and Ents Awake, and I threatened, I have good cards, you may concede. He says he has good cards. Yeah, Breaking of the Fellowship and Swarm of Bats are pretty good starting cards. Yeah, those are pretty good. So yeah, without much further delay, we'll jump on into it here. So, one eye allocated, one eye rolled, one muster rolled, and I get a pretty serviceable roll. With Palantir, I think about using immediately, but I wait. He goes ahead and puts Isengard to war. I think that's an interesting play, but it's serviceable for sure. So to get off the gray usage, I play Power of Tom Bombadil and draw into Path of the Wozes. Not useful right now, but maybe later. Oh, he draws into Balrog right now on a first draw. Man, second draw if you count opening hand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I go ahead and move, and I'm hit for a 2. So, well, there's Gandalf the Grey. I'm glad we got some use out of him. So for a 2 isn't too bad. I'm glad to be not revealed. Isengard goes to Moria, Barad-dûr to Gorgoroth. Yep. I make a joke about Elrond's lintel, which is not the correct word. The north, I go ahead and use my muster to put the north one from war. So I figure that will protect the dew line fairly well. Not hard to get the, either Carrock or Dale will get to be a mustering point. He moves towards Lorien and the north. So, okay. And then I use my will, rather than a double move, which I'm not entirely sure I agree with now that I'm staring at this. I go ahead and move Carrock to Old Forest Road and Edoras to Westamnet. So, just kind of setting up for a fairly well, at least some protection in the dew line from the north. And he moves to Daggerlad. So, uneventful game so far. I draw Horn of Gondor and Círdan's ships. Of course, Círdan's is always good to see. Wow, he's drawing hot and heavy on and Corsairs. Wow. Look at these cards. Wow. All right. One eye allocated. No more rolled, but 2 musters, so that's good. I get, a will, but no moves. So that's a little disconcerting. He puts Sauron to war. Yep. I pass again. And he puts Southrons and Easterlings one from war. I suppose you're trying to hold the Palantir for any of the... Maybe you want to play Balrog? Or maybe you want to bait me into going to Moria first. I Palantir Horn of Gondor into play. Double move, still going for Lorien. Cool. I put the elves more towards war, so either Lorien or Woodland Realm will get to muster. He moves towards the north. I muster the elves one from war, and he goes ahead and puts the Balrog in play. We talk about... I really do love a corruption strat as Shadow. Yeah. And then I go ahead and muster the elves to war, which... Oh, yeah. Because then if he uses his final muster to get the Witch King or Saruman, I can put Gandalf the Grey into play. So, and putting the elves to war so that they can muster in Lorien if he doesn't attack right now would be kind of nice. So he decides to put Southrons and Easterlings to war instead. I wonder if there's something to be said for attacking Lorien. because I should still go under siege. That's the correct move, I would say, when I'm not being silly. Not sure. But with only one eye, getting a move in is definitely good. And he hits and draws a 2 reveal. So that's annoying. I Horn of Gondor. And I think about going high pass. And with the Balrog in play, I think going high pass is thoroughly reasonable. And my do line is ready to make some defense of itself, so it's not going to completely fall instantaneously. Maybe I have some reinforcement paths there. But I get I don't know. Sometimes this happens a lot with me in Free Peoples. I just don't want to go quietly into the night. So I'm like, no, I'm going Moria. I ain't afraid of no Balrog. So, okay. 4 dice. Oh my goodness. And he gets Nazgul Search and Shadows on the Misty Mountains. What an awful hand for me to be doing this in. And I get Eomer, which, good card, and Grey Company, which is not. 1 eye allocated. See, I would put 2 here, given your hand. But you roll 1 more, so that's good. Some more musters, which is generically nice. Oh, you don't have any minions, so two musters is great. I hide with Strider. I've got 2 moves, so I want to get through Moria and get Gandalf the Grey if possible. He Shadows on the Misty Mountains. That feels unnecessary. Are you really going to spend both musters making sure I don't get Gandalf? Wouldn't you rather have 2 dice? Interesting. Okay. I move the Fellowship, and I'm safe. It's great. It's wonderful. Oh, wait, Nazgul Search. So I get Nazgul Searched into Moria, which is, great. He chooses to not Balrog, and he Moria tiles me for 1. So, but then that reveals me. I was already revealed. So, yep. I pass, which was not great because now he can break the Fellowship in Moria for a 3. So Boromir takes his Hobbit friends and sits in Moria. That's not so good. I hide with a C. He moves towards the dew line. Cool. I threaten a Free People's military victory. And he's correct. I mean, he's successfully waited me out to use my last die. So I get out of Moria. He hits. It's a 0 reveal. Okay. Almost got away there. So he says Moria tile, then Balrog. I think there's technically an order, and I don't care if this is the correct one. He declared Moria, then Balrog. Fine. I take 1, and then the Balrog is a 3. So I say random. He gets Legolas. That's good. So 4 steps in, we have 7 hunt tiles have been drawn. We're down to Strider and Gimli at 4 corruption. And he still has Lure of the Ring, and I'm revealed. But he can't play it right now, but still, jeez. So he gets Saruman, gets his die. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. If you intended to wait me out so that I couldn't get Gandalf, that makes sense, I suppose. And you had Shadows on the Misty Mountains, which is, of course, an excellent card. Okay. Whoops. Hopefully that doesn't break everything. Okay. I draw Deadmen and Grimbjorn, so I'm happy to see a Scouts. I'm over limit, and actually at this point I'm looking at Brave Stand / Grey Company thinking, well, if Boromir gets into Lorien, that's actually a pretty good card. It's an extra daylight. That's nice. But I'm in trouble in general. So he draws a red tile and many kings, so that's good. What do I end up getting rid of? I kill Eomer. I guess I'm just so enticed by the concept of a Brave Stand being a daylight. And then and then once those guys are there, I'll have 4 leadership and make these sudden strikes pretty strong too. So fairly certain that's not the right play, but it's what I did. Fellowship is, quotes, okay. 1 eye allocated. Yeah, I think that's good. You've banged the Fellowship up pretty good. No need to go over the moon there, and just make sure you get things, under control militarily. So I roll some wills, so at least I get Gandalf the White. I spend a Palantir to hide with the Fellowship first, which in retrospect is terrifying. I'm risking Day Without Dawn in an awful place. Now that we see his hand, I'm thankful I'm missing out. I'm dodging Lure of the Ring here, so that's good. So he musters in the Witch King. Okay, that makes sense. I get Gandalf. I really think about putting him in Lorien. But that'd be pretty bad, I think. So he attacks Old Forest Road and successfully swarms my scouts and kills the guy. So he's put the North to war. He has 4 attacks showing, and I don't have any musters unless I spend my only movement for the round mustering in Lorien. It's like, geez, I felt so good, or I can muster in Dale. I felt so good, but this Palantir's doing me nothing. I pass. He attacks Woodland Realm. Okay. And I choose to move the Fellowship because I need to get into Lorien and start healing. Thankfully, I'm safe. He moves out the army from Moria and starts getting the Southrons going for a Corsairs of Umbar. Okay. All of this makes sense. I Palantir now. I don't know quite why I'm not. Oh, I'm ringing? What am I ringing? Oh, right. So I ring Boromir into Lorien, because surely his next move is taking Lorien. Obviously, I could play a Palantir to play Círdan's. That's really the only playable card. Or I could ring into mustering in Lorien. But I don't know. I have a Brave Stand, which is effectively a daylight, and some sudden strikes for 4. So this feels like it could be pretty good. I am, of course, feeling pretty trash. I'm Free People are losing right now quite badly. Puts Lorien under siege. Cool. He musters more Nazgul. Sure. I would probably put them. I'd probably be thinking to put either an elite in Orthanc or do something variety there. But okay, or even in Northrune. And you have a muster. I actually, better yet, I would have played many kings there. Get this fully, and because you're gonna be hand limit in just a hot second here. That would be my suggestion, but that is not what happens. And then he plays the ring as mine, so he doesn't have hand limit. This, I think, was a mistake. You're leaving Dale open to muster. For no reason. You can attack Dale, kill it, or make it retreat, but put 1 regular on top of it at least. Woodland Realm is not going to be a problem. Just don't let me have that mustering point. But that was not the decision that was made. Thankfully, I do have the Gandalf die, and then he draws a Stilder's Bane. Geez. And a Desperate Battle. That'll be helpful. I get the Eagles Are Coming, and Through a Day and a Night. And I'm actually, of course, and of course I accidentally show Through a Day and a Night. I put it on the board on accident. I killed Dead Men. I have no intention of separating Strider. I'm not thinking a military victory looks actually available to me right now. Maybe a better player would see that. I'm going to declare into Lorien and heal. I have a heroic. So I was looking at. I have a heroic death to kill Boromir for 2. I have a brave stand. So I start with the brave stand, which is effectively a daylight, and then I can sudden strike, and then I can heroic death. So Lorien's actually quite possibly going to hold for a while, and maybe a confusion. And of course, a confusion can really turn the tide in some games. But yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's what I do. He allocates 1 and rolls no attacks. So that's excellent. And I roll a pretty good roll, all things considering. I say the comeback begins now. For reasons that are not entirely clear to me, I risk Day Without Dawn again. By mustering into Dale, and he Day Without Dawns. Don't know why I did that. So he gets pretty good value for that. On the bright side, it's gone. So it's done now. He has no attacks, so he musters in Northrune. I suppose. He musters in Northrune. And I'm not moving. I'm going to heal again in Lorien. He has no attacks showing. So I move forwards to Westamnet to make to give Helm's Deep some shot at holding in the late game. He plays many kings and goes ahead and gets a full stack in the south. And that's a pretty scary North rune. So the north looked like it was Dew Line looked like it was going to hold pretty well, but not anymore. We've got 2 full stacks, one with 3 elites. Yeah. Woodland Realm got to muster none. I'm looking at my hand and I say, well, I don't want to play any of these. So, but Círdan's ships looks, in Dol Amroth is probably going to be good, and I don't have a mustering point for the elves short of Rivendell. I think it's good to get the guys out there. So I think that was a good play. He spends the ring back to hit Woodland Realm. So he had the 1 attack showing, quote unquote, from that. This would not be what I would do. I think I would be hitting Lorien to prevent the heal, but you get cycle from sitting on Woodland Realm, so I could see that, I guess. So I confusion into Desperate Battle and get wiped. So I was kind of hoping that would not go that way. Yeah. So that was worse than I was hoping. So, okay. Collector dice. We're on to round 6, and I draw Mithril Coat and Sting, which is, of course, way too early to be useful. And the last battle. So another daylight. Lorien really has a strong chance of holding. I have quite the set of cards to hold somewhere. He hits Grand and Shadow Lengthens. So some excellent cards for him. Shadow Lengthens, great to get South Rune up to Vale of Carnan. If you move out North Rune, you can do a couple different things. The other half of the move, probably not super useful right now, but still. So that's where we're at. I declare in Lorien again, having not moved for the heal. So that's nice to get another heal in. And when I allocated, 5 more rolled, 1 attack showing. So, and I roll a whole bunch of C's. So the game wants me to move. I think about spending the will and remember now that I have no day. There's no Day Without Dawn, so I don't have to do that. So I muster in Dale. I feel like that's the fairly obvious move. However, he doesn't attack. So I'm assuming he's looking at his hand and says, okay, I have Grand. If I move the Witch King over and then Grand, I can get Lorien down. So no more healing. Okay, that makes sense. Of course, it's always a shame to not hit Dale while it's mustering. while you have a big enough army to make it not be there anymore. But, okay, so he stacks up the south and Lorien. I move Westamnet back to Fords now that it looks like that can actually hold rather than retreating straight to Helm's Deep. Because I'm not going to spend these seas moving, not against 5 dice, 2 rerolls. Shadow lengthens, okay. He uses it effectively as a single move in Umbar and a dual move in the east. So, yeah, when in a turn where you don't have much movement, you've actually accomplished a fair amount of movement, and that's nice. But however, he's just moved, and I don't know why I risked this for a whole round. He's just moved a whole bunch of Nazgul onto the Lorien. So I play the Eagles Are Coming for the Eagles Are Coming. And this is almost entirely spawned from the fact that I have sea dice and I don't know what to do with them since I'm not moving. So I get to play the Eagles Are Coming in a place where it actually makes sense. And I hit twice. So I get to kill some Nazgul and make them rout. So the card actually did what it was supposed to do. And then he just musters them back, which is mildly depressing, but what are you going to do? So I keep mustering in Dale, but I also muster in Karok, partially because why do I do that? I assume because I expect these guys to retreat into Erebor. So I want another army in Karok to be causing trouble in the back line. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Let's go with that. But he Corsairs, so okay, yep. Glad I got Círdan's ships under before it was a problem. So, and then I do no action. Lorien hasn't fallen, so I don't need to go anywhere. And, you know, I could Ents Awake, I guess. But it's Hjorndark / Ents Awake. It's the Hjorndark one, which is one of the best ones for a retreating Rohan, and it's not going to do anything right now. Yeah, so the legendary no action. And I get to spend another turn in Lorien. So I draw Smeagol Helps Nice Master and Dane Ironfoot's Guard. Dane could be good. Dew is obviously still being attacked. So yeah, I kill Path of the Woes' Sudden Strike. Man, I still have a really good place to play it. I guess I just am looking at that stack and saying, even with a Brave Stand and a Daylight, it's only 5 HP. I guess, okay, so I'm saying I have enough defensive cards. Dealing a couple more hits isn't actually that helpful. I'm not sure I agree with myself. I declare and heal again, so that's good. 1 eye allocated, 2 eyes rolled. He gets back to rolling any attack. So it's turn 7. The Fellowship's in Lorien. Shadow has 2 points, but is sitting on top of... has the Corsairs well in place, and Lorien is going to fall. It'll just take a turn or two. So I think it's still Shadow favored by quite a bit, and especially with this roll. What do you do with these Palantirs? Jeez. So I move. I assume Lorien's going to fall. I go ahead and put the move in place, and I'm safe. So that's nice. He musters more Nazgul. It's a lot of Nazgul mustering, but I guess that makes sense. I Smeagol Helps Nice Master, because what else am I doing with these Palantirs? The Nazgul get put in places where they can attack again. Cool. I threaten to play another Eagles card. I pass. He moves to reinforce Dol Amroth and prevent sneaky backdoor Umbar takes and go take Dew. Cool. I'll just muster up again. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I undid that. I'm not allowed to muster in Gondor. That's illegal. Um, I'm sure he would have told me. So I think about an elite. I think about a leader, and I end with an elite. Which I don't know. That feels like the obvious answer. Looking back at it now, you can do one round of fighting because I don't have a scouts. Hopefully, take only 2 hits and retreat to Erebor, where you can put 5 elites under. That feels pretty good. He Grons with 7-3-6 against 1-2-4, so that's pretty good. We play our cards, and I get to play Blade of Westerness. So I wasn't planning on this at the time until basically right as he attacked, and I was like, you know what? I have a Hobbit here. I have 4 leadership, 3 dice. Not, you'd hope for better, but I have a decent shot at this. And so he attacks with Hill Trolls. He gets 1 hit, 3 hits, so many hits. I get 1 hit, and I get a hit on the reroll. So I kill the Witch King. So that's nice. That's very nice. Unfortunately, I do take 3 hits, which is a lot. We talk about the fact that Blade of Westerness kills the Witch King instead of someone else. Okay, double check. He's continuing. Here's the post. He misses with all 3 of his post rolls. Okay. We double check that Gron does in fact continue even though the Witch King died. He plays a card. We double check. Yes. Okay. And then I get to play Brave Stand. So things going okay. And then he just kills me. Jeez. But I get 2 back. But that's a very big army to be left over that can go kill Rohan. So he's showing 4 points. He's got 5 if he takes Dale, which he will. And then you just go take Rohan, puts you to 8, and Dol Amroth puts you to 10. A pretty straightforward path, he said. Well, I draw a card with Palantir. I draw Imrahil, so that's kind of nice. Maybe I can make Dol Amroth take a nice long time. He attacks Dale. I mentioned that I'm glad I got stabbed the Witch King. No card. Yeah, I don't think it's worth tapping Daylight here. He gets 2 hits. And I get 4 back, so that's nice. I take those casualties because I am intending to play Danes. So I can do 1 round of field battle if he comes at me. And if I take 4 hits or less, I can retreat into Erebor with a 4 elite, 3 leader, which is extremely scary, so as he says. So he reinforces and starts moving to Rohan. I think that's a thoroughly reasonable move. Keep Gondor not at war for as long as possible. I draw Challenge of the King, so another sudden strike, but that's not helpful. Oh, and yeah, and moving army to Parth Celebrant is where the Fellowship is wanting to go, so that's nice. Could have left a Nazgul behind. I think that would have been a good move. I draw Faramir's, which is nice, and he draws Palantir. Oh, he has Morgul Wound. I missed when he drew that. I'm sure it was from a battle. Yeah, I forget. And it's Oleg High. So this is quite a stacked hand. He has lost his Witch King dice, so that's good. And I don't declare because there's less rerolls on me if I stay in Lorien. So that's nice. 1 I allocated, 2 more rolls, and he's back to rolling no attacks. He has 1 attack total for the 3rd round or 4th round this game. It was quite a bit. So I roll plenty of movement. I go ahead and get a movement out of the way before something else changes. He hits all 3 times and draws an eye. Jeez. So I just take Strider. It's the hunt pool doesn't have has only 1/3 left. This is the only time he's going to be efficient. So, okay. Uh, and I don't put them in Eastham despite Western Brownlands being more susceptible to cruel weather, because I would rather he waste a move not entering Rohan right now. So he moves a little rando onto me and enters Rohan. Okay. Um, I don't think the movement onto me is worth your time here. I'd say more Gorgoroth to Minas Morgul. Although, what else are you going to do with it? Yeah, it's probably fine. No need to be too critiquey here. But with no more attacks showing, I put Gondor to war, so I get to start making a mess there. Isengard does a muster in all the locations. I hide the Fellowship. Muster in all the Dunlands. Does he have Rage of the Dunlandings? He's not. I ask him politely to stop that. I move North Downs down towards Buckland in anticipation of a Rage of the Dunlandings. I don't have that many more Northmen to spawn in the Shire, but what else was the other half move doing here? Iron Hills doesn't need to get into Erebor, so Rohan's consolidated as good as it's going to be, especially because I threw away Aramur like an idiot. So, and then I move forwards to Helm's Deep. Just no need to get fancy here. He makes an elite in Umbar. Yep, that's fine. Dol Amroth's looking to be quite a battle. So a few reinforcements to make that actually happen seems good. I reinforce in Minas Tirith because obviously if he steps to Druidin and then Minas Tirith, I need him to not kill me or get that under siege for free. And it's a good place to get some guys. Palantir gets played, so that's not good. I would like very much for that to not get him any value. I draw Bilbo's Song and a Power 2 Great. A Power 2 Great is not super helpful here. He's kind of threatening Rivendell Greyhounds, and I do have Power of Tom Bombadil, so the Shire is some protected. But with this hand, I think at this point, Challenge of the King has to go. There's nowhere else on the map that's going to have reasonable, other than maybe Erebor. But when I'm looking at this, what I see is Dale is just going to sit there. Erebor is never going to fall nor be attacked. The dwarves aren't at war, and this North army is not enough to actually cause trouble. A 4-1-1 can't do anything. So Erebor is just never going to be taken in my mind. Gondor is going to get cleaned, and then what? So that's 4 more points, 5 more points. Yeah, if you just clean up Gondor, there's your points. But so, and then he gets Shadow's Gather, which is fantastic here for reinforcing from Mordor, and Dreadful Spells, which could be good. I throw Challenge of the King for the reasons stated above. 1 eye allocated, 3 eyes rolled, but at least he has attacks. Yep. So I get a decent roll, variable roll. I go ahead and put a leader in Minas Tirith and a regular in Pelargir, because I'm worried that Pelargir is going to fall to these just 5 regulars before it can muster up a force worth holding. And I am looking at Dol Amroth. A 3-2-0 probably doesn't hold against an 8-2-2, but let's cut off the reinforcements. He moves down to Druidin and up from Nirn, so he's at this point I'm seeing seeing what I described. Okay, Gondor's just going to get dogpiled all the way down, and for the rest of the game. So I put an elite in Minas Tirith, and he attacks, thinking to put me under. So it's a 3-3-2 versus a 2-3-3, and I'm looking at my hand, and I see a daylight, and I'm like, you know what? No, I will not go quietly into the night. So I do a field battle. Now, maybe in an upcoming video I'll highlight a field battle that goes extremely poorly, but this one, I daylight and get hit 3 times. So this is one of those. Ah, jeez. I only do 2 back as well. So that's unfortunate. He has a 4-1-3. I'm down to a 4-1-2. He presses, which is, of course, what you do. Well, and now I'm just angry. So I think about it. Oh, yeah, no dead regulars. So I think about how I'm taking my casualties, and then I say, no, never mind. I'm just doing this. He's pressing. He says, and I say, I'm going to stay in the field. I'm just angry mostly. So I play no quarter / power 2 great. I don't think Rivendell really needs the card played for it right now. And this could work. He still hits 3. And I get 5 back. So that's nice. Finally worked. So he does not have enough to attack or to press, even remotely safely. So I get to hold Minas Tirith. And I've held off a large army. Now, held off meaning I just sacked so much HP. The Gondor force pool is not much left, especially if I plan to play Faramir's and Imrahil. I only have 4 regulars and a couple leaders left, but I feel good about it. So I muster in Minas Tirith. I'm not sure that was strictly necessary, but I'm sure I'm just waiting to see what he does and hoping to get a good Faramir's off. The Nazgul all abandon ship to Dale, of all places. And I got to keep the Fellowship moving. It's against 4 eyes with 2 rerolls. I hate it, but doesn't matter. He hits on the first roll anyway. Gets a 0 reveal. I mean, I don't like it, but it's better than the alternative. And he attacks Erebor. I'm assuming that in the, seeing that army melt to Minas Tirith, you're like, okay, well, let's go somewhere else. I would be of the mind of, well, that's a bunch of HP that's not coming back. Get everybody together and we'll go again. But I see what you're saying. I say I field, obviously. So this one is a legitimate field battle. The unfortunate thing is I've just toasted my only good cards for field battles because I'm holding Faramir's because it's likely to hit. And Imrahil because it's likely to hit. So I can't play anything. And he gets to Mumakil. So that's pretty good. Now it's Shadow's Gather being spent, but Mumakil's pretty strong. He gets 3 hits, or 4 hits. Yeah, 4 hits. Same issue I had there. And I only get 2 back. So that means he gets the bonus Mumakil hit. Jeez. That's annoying. So a 4-4-5 over a 2-3-3, and you got 5 regulars here that can reinforce. Maybe Erebor is going to fall. Jeez, that felt better a minute ago. So with the Palantir showing, I can't play any of these cards. I'm going to save Bilbo's for full value, obviously. I could play Ents, but I draw a character card. I need to cycle through the character cards if I'm going to dunk, which is my only shot at victory. I'm going to need character cards. So, okay. Next round, round 9. Foul Thing from the Deep and Denethor's Folly. Maybe you can get use out of Denethor's Folly. I draw Athelas and Guards of the Citadel. So I have all the Gondor reinforced cards, I guess technically other than House of Stewards. Guards is actually really nice as a charge up in Erebor, hopefully. But Gwaihir's not going to be doing me much good. I don't think Gandalf needs to be anywhere right now. He kills Denethor's Folly. That makes sense, and I kill Gwaihir. So when I rolled, no more, or when I allocated, no more rolled. Plenty of attacks, couple musters. Very variable, very nice roll for him. I continue to be glad that Day Without Dawn is not a thing. I even say it. Wow, I agree with my past self so much today. with 2 Palantirs showing and I have some wills, I go ahead and burn Palantir. Palantir of Orthanc. I do not want him getting draws off that, and he goes to immediately play Morgul Wound for 2 corruption. Well, at least he's not drawing a card from it. I hide. He sits the guys back on me and sets the stack into Minas Morgul. Okay, fine. He hits Erebor again. Strategy card versus strategy card. I've got a charge versus his We Come to Kill. I mean, he's using his forward reinforcement cards as We Come to Kills. I always have a very hard time doing that. But with the 4 elites there, that's talk about a great time to do it. On the bright side, I get a 3 charge, 1 hit. So, okay. About as good as you can expect. He gets 1 hit. I get 4. So that's great. He has to reduce down to 3 elites and gets 1 in post. Yep. So the dwarves aren't even at war, which continues to suck. So he just musters an elite in Dol Guldur. So Dol Guldur is 1, 2, 3, 4 moves from Erebor, and you can kind of pick up the Woodland Realm guys on the way. Whereas North Rune is 1, 2, 3. And you can still meet up in Dale. I think mustering in North Rune makes more sense until I look at all the Mumakil are out. Every single Mumakil. That's quite the accomplishment. Wow. All right. Well, then that makes sense why you did that. At this point, I play Athelas, because why not? And I heal away the Morgul Wound, which is thematic. So, that's nice. Another elite in Dol Guldur. Okay, cool. It can go either direction, north or south. Maybe that's another point in favor of Dol Guldur. I have musters showing, but the dwarves aren't at war. I do note that I have an army move and if he puts the dwarves to war, I can retake Dale. So I could spend this muster putting the dwarves to war, but that seems useless. I could make Gondor regulars, but my pool is so small right now, I feel like I have to be fairly efficient. I think a regular in Minas Tirith and a regular in Pelargir is probably good here. But instead what I choose is to put Rohan more towards war, just to get a tap on that's plastic. Especially with Orthanc mustard. I'm probably talking too much. Anyway, and he dreadful spells Erebor with 5 Nazgul. So that's annoying. Thankfully, he only gets 1. So I have been hit 3 times for 1 in Erebor, and I've had to use all the dwarf regulars in the force pool. So that's annoying. But thankfully the dwarves are at war, so now I can take Dale. Yeah, so I spend my last muster putting the dwarves to war to force this last attack to be attacking Iron Hills, because otherwise I will muster there next round. And he doesn't do it, so that's nice, but he moves to North Ithilien, kind of forcing my hand on Faramir. I draw Axe and Bow and Scouts. Axe and Bow is actually great here. I still have Gimli, so I can make that do its thing. Spirit of Mordor maybe has an opportunity in the north to activate. He's obviously moving guys there to make it a combined army. The south is all Southrons, but something there. He draws Black Captain commands. Yay for the Witch King being dead. And half-orcs and goblin men. That could be pretty good for him. Fellowship okay. 1 I allocated. No more rolled. He's been pretty consistent rolling musters this game. I get 2 movement. I'm 3 from Mordor. And I go ahead and Faramir's Rangers first. Yeah. I don't have enough musters. I mean, I could muster in Iron Hills, I suppose. But Not with this set of dice, I think. So I get one hit, and I put my elite there. Honestly, I forgot that I was saving maybe for Imrahil in Dol Amroth, so I probably should have put regular here, but I put the elite. So that's the last Gondorian elite. So he makes an army in Old Forest Road. He's obviously just going to come take Erebor. I play axe and bow. They load, they coming. The one elite to West Horondor, I mean, I guess where else are you going to do anything that matters? I would consider strongly combining the Dunland armies in anticipation of going somewhere. You have 2 musters, actually. You could put 2, with this half move, you could put your South Dunlandings to North Dunland, put 2 elites in that, a 5-2-2. Maybe go somewhere with that, or at least begin to be ready to go somewhere. I think that would be pretty good. I move the Fellowship, and I'm safe. So that's pretty good. He Isildur's Banes me and draws a 2. So that's that's annoying. So I cannot reduce the corruption in any way before using the ring, so I just have to take the corruption. I move again. I'm safe again. Okay, that's good. He musters in North Dunland. He's kind of doing what I was saying earlier. And then he uses the half move there to combine up and combine up. So a 5-5-5 on Erebor. Erebor is going to fall. So you need Erebor, Pelargir, and DA. You need another one, Edoras, at that point. Why is the score not making sense in my head? Yeah, Pelargir, Erebor, and Dol Amroth. So your points are pretty clear at this point. However, I got a Elven Ring to get to Mordor, so I'm going to get to Mordor this round. That's pretty good. And honestly, total corruption of 2 with Bilbo's Song in hand. It's not terrible. And he misses 3 sets of, it was only 1 die, but 6 dice and all misses, including the 3rd move. So that's great. He Foul Thing from the deeps, which is super annoying. But he draws a 1. So, but I guess I haven't double checked the almanac. The rule we went with is that I can axe and bow, which means that the corruption is 0, so I don't have to kill anyone. Yeah. So that's what we go with. I guess I'll just double check now, so we don't have that as a question. All right, I'm back. Double checked, and the almanac does explicitly call out using axe and bow or Horn of Gondor there. So great, cool. So he draws Nazgul Strike. Thank goodness that's a turn late. And Orcs Multiplying again. Also a little nice that that's late. And I get to get into Mordor, and I say to rub it in, I go this route past all the Orcs. Got to get that mental damage in while you can. And I draw We Prove the Swifter and Riders of Theoden. So Theoden is good. Daylight's good. However, there's the minor problem of this is the hunt pool. I need to make 5 moves at effective 1 corruption, and 7 of the 9 tiles, 7 of the 8, start over, and 6 of the 8 tiles are reveals, and 1 is a red tile. So I'm going to need to make like 8 moves, at least. That's not good. So he's at 5 points, but Erebor's going to fall. 1 I allocated, none rolled. Okay. Good round for running. I roll musters and a couple moves. That's pretty good, really. And then I do a very wrong thing, and I don't move first. I put a Gondor regular in Pelargir and one in Lamadon to do a fighting withdrawal all the way to DA. Also, I've been through most of the deck. I would love to get a help unlooked for to play for DA. He thinks about playing Warden with Sorrow and Toil. He drew a shadow card, and then he drew Warden with Sorrow and Toil. Wow. That always messes me up on the replays. Okay. Then I move, being like, oh shoot, he could have red tiles. Why am I waiting around? And I get an eye. Okay. I got to be efficient at this point, so I just take the one corruption. And then he plays Lure of the Ring. So he's been holding that since round 2. And now that I say that there he made a note at the end that he could have played it in Eastemnet and just missed it. So I apparently missed it too, Gus. But yeah, Gimli did. So yay, I have Smeagol. I hide before more of the fun, and he attacks Erebor. I save my cards. I figure Erebor's a lost cause. He does another We Come to Kill, this time for 5, which is crazy. He hits 1. I hit 1. I would hope for more, but he gets 2 on the post. Okay. He presses. No card. 1. I get 2 back. Okay. Onesie-twosieing him here. And he kills me. I'm dead. Okay. Erebor has fallen. Curse Blat. I have 2 elites, or 2 musters left, and not much Gondor left to muster. Again, I could put the Rohan to war, which might have been good, but if I can make him spend attacks in Erebor in the more attacks in the dew line, I would love that. So I muster the second to last dwarf in Iron Hills. He attacks and just steamrolls me for no hits back. So that's sad, but okay. Mouth comes in Moria. Yep, that makes sense. You've got a stack here that can go a couple places. You're threatening Grey Havens, you're threatening Rivendell. I have enough elves to defend one of those, and the North's at war, and I have a few more Northmen to muster. He moves to South Downs, and moves the Western Emyn Wheel to Dead Marshes in anticipation of meeting up with North Athelion, I guess. I'm sure that's just I have another move, and I guess I'll use it here. I suppose I think I would have brought some of Erebor back down to sit on Dale, so I don't do stupid stuff with Karak. But whatever, that's whatever. I forget at this point that I have Tom Bombadil in play. It's in the very first play of the game, so these 3 are safe from him. Now he could spend the die and cards. Now you'll note actually he doesn't have an army card, so he actually can't take the Shire. And I Elven Ring to move. So it's only 1 eye showing. This is about as good as it gets. I'm doing it while he has an Elven Ring already, so it's kind of no cost. Draw an eye, 2 corruption. Okay. And then he moves towards Rivendell. Yeah, maybe that was inevitable and obvious. Maybe the muster should have been there. And now I'm going to have to spend the first turn of next round mustering in Rivendell rather than moving. That seems not good. He draws Candles and Rage, so Rage is just a little late. Candles is obviously great for him here. I draw another Ents and Book of Mazarbul. Obviously, a book is way too late. I kill We Prove the Swifter. Gandalf in Dol Amroth would have been a great move. Why did I do that? Oh, I just don't anticipate it mattering. I anticipate him putting Rivendell under, taking that instead at this point, I guess. I don't know. Weird. And then I throw away scouts because it doesn't look like it's going to be useful. And yeah. One eye allocated, 2 more rolled. I roll a great roll when there's no day without dawn. I, at this point, figure I have to put an elf in Rivendell. And then he surprised me and doesn't attack Rivendell. I would have very much put Rivendell under here, even if you don't think the 5/2/2 can take it. I mean, you are 9 HP versus 6, which is not great. But I'm only rolling 3 dice the whole way down. And even if it takes you several actions to come and get it, just make me so I can't get another guy there? I don't know. But he attacks Pelargir. I mean, see, theoretically, Dol Amroth just falls too. So he hits once, I hit once. He presses, I retreat to Lamadon. He's now officially 1 stronghold from victory. I muster 1 more time. I put a regular in Rivendell because I don't want to overcommit, and then he switches to Grey Havens hard. And besides, I only have regulars in Gondor, so I'm going to put 1 more guy in Lamadon, just harry this army the whole way across. He mentions help when looked for. Yep, that'd be very nice. He moves the mouth out to Trollshaws. Yeah, so think just how much... Anyway, yep. So he wanted to get Nazgul and Pelargir. So, okay. And at this point, I'm like, okay, well then I'll put a full stack in Rivendell, and I put another elf regular in Rivendell and a regular in the Shire, in anticipation of him maybe switching to the 4 cities. Because Tom Bombadil's in play, but Edoras could fall before I could do anything about it. I do have Riders of Theoden, but he attacks DA. Okay, see what he can do. It's a strategy card, so I play Advantageous Position, and it succeeds in making him not Relentless Assault, which would have hit, so that's nice. He gets nothing, and I get 4 back. 5 dice, no rerolls, 4 hits. It's easy as that, folks. He stops. Yeah, that makes sense. I hide the Fellowship. DA again. I daylight an Onslaught, which doesn't really matter, but I daylight. And I spend Riders of Theoden here because the game rests on if he takes this round, then I lose. So 5 cities or not, he gets 1 hit and I get 3 back. So it's 10 dice. I've hit 7 times. That's okay. That's pretty all right. I comment that I wish a sortie made sense. Yeah. He draws Orc Patrol. Oh, goodness. Now, thank goodness the Orc Patrol has a 50-50 of doing nothing. In fact, making my life happier. And I get the chance to play an Ent card for 2 hits, play an Ent card for a hit, into Bilbo Song for 2 heal. So Orthanc is not enough to take Helm's Deep anymore, not even close. And I am down to 4 corruption, I need to make 3 moves, probably more like 5 with this hunt pool. 5 moves, 5 dice worth of moves, maybe 6. But that's not a lot of corruption. Maybe? He makes some Southrons. Can we do it? He draws Pits of Mordor and Lidless Eye. What do you throw there? Interesting. And I draw There Is Another Way and Wisdom of Elrond, a confusion. He throws Worn with Sorrow and Toil. Yes, of course. 1 eye allocated. 3 more rolled. That's not my favorite with that hunt pool. I like my roll, though. And I go ahead and start with There Is Another Way. I do this because I anticipate getting hit for a lot of corruption here, so I might as well just do the healing now. I move and get Smeagol Helps Nice Master. So with this hunt pool and 4 eyes, my first move is to heal twice and take a move for free. So now I need 2 moves. Maybe happens. Lamedon from Pelargir, just get this done. And I confusion for 2 hits. He hits me none, and I hit 1. Oh, geez. He presses. I stay. He gets 2. I get 1. He stops. And I have On Gondor regular left. Jeez. So I muster in the north. I'm almost tapped out of Northman. That's my second to last Northman, but Rivendell's pretty darn safe, really, and even if they aren't, the Northmen could reinforce, so I figure that's a good place to get some guys. Also, I have nothing else to make. I could put Rohan to war, but he attacks us Gileath from North Ithilien. Maybe that sweeps around and takes Dol Amroth. No card. He gets 1. Or he gets none, I get 1. And then I roll too many times on the reroll. He presses. In retrospect, I probably should have stayed 1 round. Chipped at him a little bit before running. He's only rolling 5 dice. But I retreat to Minas Tirith and move Rohan down the track. He draws a red tile and throws black captain commands. Yep, that makes sense. I consolidate Bree to Buckland and Ered Luin to Grey Havens. Sure. What else are you gonna do with this? Because I'm not moving again. He plays the red tile. Oof. And I say my hubris because I'm like, well, I actually should have moved now that I think about it. Maybe just take the hit. But at this point, it's not getting better before next round. So I draw a character card looking for more blue tiles. He Candles of Corpses for shouldn't that have been? Oh, no, yeah, for 0. So I'll take it. I get Swords and Eriador, which hilariously could make my last elites of both the North and the Dwarves. He draws another red tile and a Deadly Strife. Gonna be a game. Gonna make a game of it. So 4 moves in, I was 7 tiles deep in the hunt pool. Now I'm at 2 corruption, 2 steps from a dunk. So that's all right. 1 eye allocated, no more rolled. And I roll a dunking roll. Move before any red tiles. It's the 1 reveal. I take it. No reveal. I don't need to be tanking that. I'm not that desperate for healing right now. He plays the red tile. So the hunt is 50% red tiles, which is everybody's favorite as free people. I go to dunk. I get bounced with the 1. I'll take it. He draws Flocks of Crebain. Not helpful. I don't know what other cards are available, and I'm not going to take the time an hour into this video to think about it. I hide again. Well, he's got nothing more to throw at you're not going to throw an Orc Patrol at this. Over half the tiles are would be good for the free peoples if you draw them. I guess you could make an argument that drawing a neutral eye with Orc Patrol is good for the shadow player. and it's more likely to do that than draw the red eye. So playing Orc Patrol is correct here. Because I win if I draw a neutral eye. So you need me to draw a red tile. And you can make your 40% odds of that a 50% odds. Weird. He moves to Pelargir. I move Rohan to war. I'm just waiting it out. I'm gonna make him make me move, if that makes sense. He attacks Lamadon. He gets his 2. I get 1. I pass. He makes a 10 stack and takes Eteros. Okay, cool. DA, strategy card versus strategy card. I correctly advantageous his Desperate Battle. He gets nothing. He gets 2. Sorry. Same confusion. And I get 1. Okay. He stops because he has to. And then I get to Imrahil, the last Gondorian regular, into Dol Amroth. He attacks again, and I get to Heroic Death. And he hits nothing. Or, excuse me, he hits 1. I don't have a great roll back, but a Deadly Strife in which you kill on leader. But I look at this and say, okay, I need to move. I need to move now when an eye would and get revealed by an eye, so that I can move more quickly next round. I move and I hit a regular eye, so I am able to dunk with 7 corruption. That move might have been a bit much. I guess I was thinking if I hit a red, I'd rather know now, but that's maybe, and not risk not rolling a C next round. Or him Yahtzeeing 6s on Dol Amroth, but that's my game for you folks. Turn 15 dunk at 7 corruption. I was tapped out. I played Bilbo's Song. I played There's Another Way. I had 3 blue tiles hiding in the bottom 7 cards, but who am I to? I can't complain. This game has been very fair. Here's the stats. Early in the game, he was up on 6s, and he ends up on 5s, which is not, doesn't matter really. I end up low on military hits, but so these are, I would say, are very fair dice. Even worse for me, maybe. He's rolled a fair amount of eyes, but they've all been in chunks. It's either he rolls eyes or he doesn't, and he's low on hybrids. So he's had a bit of trouble getting his armies into position. But that is what I have for you folks. Thank you again for tuning in for another video, and thank you, Gus, for a very good game. You were an excellent opponent and a good fun guy to play with. I look forward to our next game. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next one.